so much. I love you so much. I love you so much. I love you so much.
Hello, all you positive heads out there. Thanks for tuning your beautiful brainwaves into another episode of the Positive Head Podcast, where we are firmly convinced that creating success and happiness is rooted in understanding the ultimate nature of reality and the fact that as human beings, we are all immensely powerful fractals of the one and only source consciousness which creates and animates all things. After years of exploring this awe-inspiring truth on this podcast, I'm super excited to announce that we are now going even deeper down the rabbit hole on the new late-night style consciousness-elevating talk show called Optimistic, which features none other than you, the listeners. Optimistic is taped out of the epic spaceship-esque 8-bedroom property we call the Mystic Manor that myself and the rest of the Optimistic crew now navigate reality from in Venice Beach, California. And you are invited to come experience a Mystic Manor immersion week with us. During your week-long stay, you'll enjoy unique workshops, chef-prepared meals, one-on-one time coaching and consulting with me, and even co-creating magic with me as a guest on both Optimistic and an episode of the Positive Head podcast. When I started this, my aim with these immersive retreats was to facilitate the ultimate spiritual upgrade and tune-up, so to speak, for our guests while providing them with one of the most memorable experiences of their lives. And I'm happy to say that as of this recording, every guest at the end of their trip so far has told me that they have had a profound and transformational experience at the Mystic Manor and that they definitely want to come back. All that being said, we only have a limited number of spots available between now and next July. And as of this recording, about half of those spots are already filled. So if there's any part of you that is screaming, yes, I want to come, I feel like I need to be there, go now and book a slot with me to discuss how we can put our heads together and make it happen at calendly.com/talkwithbrandon. I know for some people, there is also that little voice in their head saying, why not? I can't get off work. I can't afford it, and on and on and on. But, really, Henry Ford, I think, said it best. Whether you think you can or think you can't, you're right. And I'm confident that where there's a will, there's a way. And I'm personally committed to doing everything in my power, including discounts and payment plans, to get you here if it is something that truly feels like a huge yes for you energetically and like you're meant to be here. Once again, the link to book time to discuss with me is calendly.com/talkwithbrandon. That's spelled calendly.com/talkwithbrandon. All one word, of course. And book in some time and look forward to seeing you soon here at the Mystic Manor. All right, all you positive heads. Welcome. It's been a minute since I've been on the microphone, and I decided if I'm coming back in style, and it's going to be with like a whole posse of incredible man-children. I've got there's 5 dudesters here on this particular episode. We are here at Yoda even came, which is really nice. Yoda, thanks for showing up. there's a Yoda mug. There's nice a Yoda. To be here. Yeah, I think
this is the first week with all men. It
is the first week with all men. It's been certainly the majority women. I would say at least 75%.
Oh, is that right?
So, and it just landed this way, which is interesting. I think I remember talking to one of you, Heinrich. I talked to you I think, and it was your birthday, and then I had a conversation with you, Jeffrey, right after that, and I'm like, oh, hold on, you're available that week? And that's you. And I just talked to both of you. And it was like, oh, yeah, you two will.
Yeah, I remember you saying, there's this cool guy, Heinrich. Yeah. I'm going to hook you guys up.
Yeah.
Super.
Yeah, because we were trying to choose which date. So it was a little, now that I think about it, I guess it was mini organized, but not it was like I literally had your calls like back to back or something, which was interesting, randomly back to back. So I digress. How you guys doing out there? I hope all is magical wherever you are. If it's the year 2537 and you happen to be listening to this, I hope your Jetsons mobile is getting you where you need to go. Or your teleport machine. Maybe you listen to podcasts while you're teleporting. I don't know. That's possible.
Well, the podcast teleports you.
Yeah, maybe that's wow. Yeah, exactly, Jeffrey. So, all right. So I'm gonna introduce the fellers here. My name is Brandon. In case you're curious, I haven't been on in like 2 weeks, so some people are. Imagine if someone came in the last 2 weeks. They're like, "Who is this guy? Where's Erica?" Like,
I've never known Erica.
So I've got
Erica.
Thank you, Erica.
Thank
you.
Lots of love, Erica.
At some point, I will meet you in Phoenix.
Oh yeah, you're right near there.
Yeah, I've been trying to hook up with Brian and Erica.
Oh yeah, you definitely need to do that.
Yeah. Brian's a sound healer.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, Brian's amazing.
Yeah.
You definitely need to do that. So I have Heinrich.
Hola, Heinrich from Idaho.
I have Marcos
Hola.
from Idaho.
Idaho as well.
I have Jeffrey.
DJ Solfeggio.
DJ Solfeggio in the house.
Reporting from Venice, California. The Mystic Manor.
That was my very weak, scratchy voice.
Virtual scratching.
Jabron from
Tennessee now.
Tennessee. That's Tennessee. I got Jabron here from Tennessee. His name formerly was Larry. But we've decided to change. Now that it's a Mystic Manor, we got a fancier name. We're still in Tennessee, y'all. So let's talk about some Mystic Manor magic. Who is feeling brave to share a little bit of their insight, perspectives?
I will start. This is Jeffrey, and I'm from Mesa, Arizona. I actually listen to the podcast when I'm walking my dogs at night.
Oh.
And it's like my quiet time, and I turn on the podcast, and it's like, love you so much. And I got 3 dogs, a husky and 2 pugs. And we're a motley crew. We're a blended family. And I turn on the podcast, and I take them for a walk around the neighborhood for like an hour. And I remember the first moment that I heard that you were going from, the first day you changed the intro to... we're doing the podcast thing. We're migrating onto television, and go to your Calendly and set up a time to talk to you. And I was so excited because my company I work for is based in Venice, so I had that immediate connection.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
With coming to Venice, and I was super excited. And of course, it's like a little bit of internet stardom. Oh my God, Brandon Beecham is calling me on my cell phone right now, and I was super excited to talk to you. And you made it happen for me. And originally, I was trying to come here with my wife as well.
Right,
it was going to be a couples retreat for us because we're going through a little bit of a rough patch. And there's some stuff in our family right now where she decided she couldn't make it. So all things happen how it should. And this is the first week of All Men.
Yeah.
So I was really excited to be here. I actually drove. I packed up my car on Sunday night and drove here with all of my gear. I'm super excited to perform. I'm a trance producer.
Where can they find your music, of course?
You can go to DJ Solfeggio, DJ SOULFEGGIO.com. That's my website, and it links out to all my social sites. And so over the past 4 years, I've been incorporating sound healing tones of the solfeggio scale into electronic dance music. I actually, a few years ago, took a sound healing course at SWIHA. It's a college in Phoenix, Arizona. It's in Tempe, actually. And I immediately after that class looked for, YouTube videos with solfeggio tones, and you find a bunch of, just a single tone with like angelic synthesizer type sounds behind it.
Right.
But I could not find any actual danceable, energetic stuff. So I was like, I don't understand why this has not been done.
Right.
And so that's been my project for the last 4 years, is combining the solfeggio and the zodiac. And my creation is going to be 108 tracks. So it's a long-term project. Wow. I have the first 18 done, and you'll be able to hear both albums. It's like a double EP release on October 12, I think.
Yeah.
So I'm super stoked about that, and I'll be DJing for the after party for the show taping.
Yep.
So all of the guests here and all the amazing people that I've met will be able to hear my music firsthand. I'm super thankful and gratitude to Brandon for making this all happen for us all. So that's what actually brought me here, was completely self-motivated, like, I'm going to use the Positive Head community to launch my music career, and so I'm super excited to share my music with all the Positive Head community.
Congrats on bringing congrats on bringing it to this point, because a lot of times people will start things like that, and it's a huge undertaking, And so,
it is. It's been a labor of love. My day job is a software engineer. I do website development and things like that. So I am treating this project as a nights and weekends kind of thing. And it's been 4 years of nights and weekends to make all this music happen. And it's just a start. So I said 108 tracks. There's 108 beads on a rosary. That's like a number that's very resonant in nature and everything. And there's how I got there is there's 9 solfeggio tones and 12 zodiac signs. 9 times 12 is 108. So you'll see my music is like 852 Virgo or.
I only listen to the Leo tracks, but I'm a snob like that.
So actually, I have. If you go on Spotify right now, I have 3 singles, and one of them is Majestic, and there's a sound in there that's a lion roar, and it's Majestic 417, and that's for you.
I'm gonna go listen to that one. Wow.
Dedication.
So, how has your Mystic Manor shenanigans been this far?
Shenanigans.
That's a good word for this place, right?
Yeah.
Shenaniganing around here.
What is it? Soul debauchery for the soul. No, it's been amazing. From the first arrival, Petra greeted me. I unpacked my stuff, brought it all up to my room, and then Heinrich and Marco showed up, and I think you were there right when I got there. We all kind of arrived at the same time, and immediately we're just embracing, because we were actually sharing on a group message before we even came. So that was really cool. So I already felt like I already kind of knew you guys. Tuesday was amazing. I actually benefited greatly from the emotional freedom technique. The EFT is tapping. Laura Hurley, her Instagram is at Lohhu, Lohhu. She's amazing. I was literally just a bawling mess of tears and emotion were just pouring out of me during our EFT session. So if you have emotional blockages, I definitely recommend Lauren Hurley. So that was incredible. The next few days we spent with Kim Boda doing the work of Dr. Joe Dispenza.
Yep.
And that was...
Kim's like Dr. Joe. If you know Dr. Joe, is like right-hand woman.
She was so cool, and she actually hung out with us, and she's like a totally down-to-earth person. And we just bonded with her like a soul sister. And we really...
Kim.
Kim Boda. And she has her own podcast as well, something...
Bear Valley or
it's real estate related. She does some real estate stuff up
she wants to expand from
and then what was it? I guess yesterday was I'm lost
the day
track of all time.
You really lose time in this place. It's like such a time warp, because today, as we're recording, it's Friday, and so today we hang out all day doing this, and we're gonna get into some whatever we decide to do. Probably, I think we decide we're gonna go down to the beach today, and I spend time with each person individually. Is kind of my Friday MO, getting some insight into what's going on in everyone's life, and shining for whatever it's worth my perspective on what I would do if I were in their bio bodysuit. And so that's today. And then tomorrow there's an event here tonight, a Soul Train B-Day party / event. Then there's tomorrow a music video happening before the live taping of Optimistic. So we've still got a few days left, and it's like jam-packed with stuff.
Everybody in the house is like gearing up for this high energy.
It's been really mellow so far.
Yeah.
So we're going to jam-pack it now.
So are you glad you came, Jeffrey? Because I remember at one point you and I talked, and you were on your way, and then you reached out and you're like, Brandon, I think I got to cancel. I don't think I can come. And then we talked, and I'm like, Jeffrey, you are coming.
You were very convincing. You made it now.
And are you glad I convinced you to still come?
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, I can't. I got to plug Amanda Brown. Also, I had an amazing.
Love you, Amanda.
Hypnotherapy session last night. Here-wegrow.com is her website. If you are interested in past life hypnotherapy, it was amazing. I became a Native American in my experience.
In like
And
the
it was-
1700s or 1800s?
Yeah, like early 1800s in South Dakota.
It was a
And I've
really
never been
interesting
to-
story.
I got South Dakota really strong, and I've never been there, but I saw like blowing grasses on hills and clouds and horses, and with like the flies landing on their skin with the wiggling. How
Yeah.
they try to get the flies off.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I felt there. I smelled the dirt and the soil. So thank you, Amanda, for that.
Don't forget the leather.
Honestly, leather moccasins, and like the beads on the tassels on the moccasins, like little details like that. It was really, really interesting. And super relaxing. So, I mean, honestly, this whole entire week has been just like, taking your brain, your heart, your soul, putting it in a blender, and then just pouring it back in your open chest and letting everyone comment on that. So it really feels like a mind-altering and life-altering experience for sure.
Awesome. Well, who else wants to share a little bit about their experience so far?
Okay.
Go.
Marcos.
Yeah.
Marcos.
Marcos from Idaho. Boise, Idaho coming at you. So I wasn't as avid as a listener. Heinrich, my good friend Heinrich here, he gifted me this trip down here to Mystic Manor. So I just kind of tapped in a little bit to Brandon's podcast and really enjoyed it, but I haven't been listening to it consistently.
How dare you?
I know.
You haven't listened to
I mean,
all
this is a
1,000,
confessional.
1,100 episodes? Leave this place.
And being from Idaho and all, I'll go into my hick night. This is Idaho,
These guys are the farthest thing from Hicks. You two walked in and I'm like, these guys are not from Idaho. They're from like Mars.
or maybe Uranus.
Uranus offended.
Anyway, my chakras are out of alignment. I think I actually pulled the chakra back in Idaho, so I thought the Mystic Manor. I gotta go to this place.
Healing
And heal my chakras. I'd strain them. Now and again.
Yeah, they're talking
Too much corn.
Too many potatoes. I do a lot of potato pickers back home. So and I eat too many potatoes, I think. So I took my chakras out of alignment. And anyway, no, but seriously, back to being serious. Because spirituality is a very serious thing, but we try
Very
not to
serious.
take
Can I
it.
get a hallelujah?
Hallelujah. Amen, brother. Amen.
So let's not
Preach.
take it so seriously, though. But no, that's just been an amazing journey. Thank you, Brandon, for making this space a reality. Yeah, or a surreality.
I like that.
Yeah, completely expansive. Mind, heart, spirit, emotional expansion. All of a lot is like in the first 2 days I was already blasted going what else is there to do? We're going on to the next thing. Here comes the next thing.
What's been happening around here? Let me just interject. Is as we've sort of went along, more and more just events and workshops, and it's like the vortex is swirling and it's pulling in more and more magical people. So we started in July and now we're in October, and it's like by the time, I don't know what it's going to be like a few months from now, but there's literally just so much stuff swirling and coming into the space, and I can't imagine someone who isn't as weird as you four coming here, and it would really talk about throwing someone's chakra out of alignment, or they're just like, what is this place?
Just kinked my chakra.
So anyway, you can continue.
Yeah, but where were we? Yeah, so for the surreal, mystical reality that's being created here, and then to Kim's work, we mentioned, shout out to you again, Kim Boda, to the breaking the habit of being yourself, a more like a grounded, systematic approach. Because we spent 7 hours with her over 2 days.
Yep,
with a journal and so
awesome.
forth. So that gives a real systematic approach to making the change, and then all the other experiences for me are helping to open up different channels again of reality of what I think myself to be and what I think the world to be. So that's a real pragmatic kind of a set, the habit of breaking yourself. Is a real pragmatic set that I can bring back home to, say, my family. I have a wife and 2 kids at home, right?
Right.
That to explain some of the mystical experiences we have aren't going to fly real well.
Yep.
but I can come home with this like, well, I have this 30 days to changing my habits thing. Baby.
Right.
Just think of some habit you want. And here's how to change that.
And here's how to change it.
It was really
you know,
cool.
and it goes from a real science. So that's what I'm loving about it too. The science and mysticism are meeting here at the Manor to help create a holistic approach to creating transformation. Like real transformation. And now it's up to me, and I'm trusting my bros here.
Yep.
We're going to sync together, and we've made a commitment to zoom in with each other once a month, right, at least.
Yeah.
And so to hold each other accountable. And then I got my bro here that's back on the home front in Idaho picking potatoes. We can
over a tater log dinner.
We can be our meditators. We'll be meditators.
There you go.
Meditators.
Oh, man, that's
so we'll roll it together. Idaho
Meditators.
Yeah.
Oh, it took me a minute.
Right.
Oh my gosh.
Another one. Play on words. I love play on.
That just happened. Give me them meditators. Them better meditators.
We're going to bring better meditating to Idaho style. Yeah. Better meditators, with butter. Yeah,
With
butter and sour cream on top.
These guys are just like the court jesters. They've been
They
cracking us
totally-
up all
oh, man,
week.
oh my
It's just
God.
Well, you add,
They're not allowed to leave, actually. You got to steal. You're not allowed to leave.
well, you got to add them little bacon bits on top, actually, and then that's the
They're just
cream.
on another wave.
That's the cream on top. So that would be, if I could describe it to all you Idahoan kind of rural people out there, that would be like having the massive, biggest tater you got with butter, smothered in butter, sour cream, and you got chives, and then to top it off we're with the bacon bits.
Oh hell, you haven't even rolled it in the salt.
And then the salt. Yeah, you put the salt on, and that's what the Mystic Manor is.
it's all of the ingredients.
And a dollop of chili to boot.
There you go. That's my man. My man.
Yeah, vegan chili.
Yeah, this
Ian
is all-
will kick us out.
This is all vegan. That's right. This is vegan, and it will. If you notice, there were 7 ingredients on there, and each one will help you align your
There's different
chakras.
chakras.
Yeah. So, that's what the Mystic Manor is.
Oh,
here,
that's
baby. That's
definitely
my
a one-of-a-kind
experience so far.
description. Thank you for
We
that.
ain't even over. We still got.
I
2
can't
days
imagine, what
apparently.
toppings
Like,
will go on in the next 2 days. Only time will tell.
We're gonna hit these other chakras that are beyond the standard 7. I think, so.
Oh, man, you're one of a kind, Marcus. Heinrich, you're up. Heinrich.
So I think what I would share is first, like, tremendous outpouring of gratefulness to my wife and my daughter and my family
I
for
second
creating
that.
the space for me to have such a glorious 50th experience.
Oh, it's his 50th birthday. Happy birthday. Happy 30th incarnation anniversary, Heinrich.
Yeah, I mean, like, I have been on a roll for like at least 4, maybe 5 weeks of birthdayness.
Wow.
And to be afforded that as a human being on this planet is beyond the emotional offerings that I can give you.
Thank you, Mama Jen and Lily.
Yeah, it's just been so special. Best birthday ever. And I look forward to the next one.
Yeah.
And then next, I mean, for my friend Marco, he is such a delight. I can't think of he's just, what a best thing to put with your suitcase to come to the Manor. I mean, I was like shopping around for what I would bring, and he's the guy.
Bring
It
your
just
best.
brings so much glee and joy out in me individually, and then of course getting to witness how he affects others. And then to the group who holds the space here at the Manor.
Ooh.
Oh, wow.
Gee-oh.
The grace in that process to embody the very thing that is attracting, right, what comes out of the podcast and out of the Manor and the vortex of it, and that's what's spinning it in. And that is such a challenging place to be in, and it means that there's all this internal work that's happening on each individual person who's here in an active role. And so being here, showing up with my own intention about how to be the best version of me, and then glean whatever I can from being here, and then get to kind of swirl that in with the varying elves and characters that are committed to this place and to this experience, and then to their own work, and then to integrate with you in that experience. So the vulnerability, in the instant that you arrive is up to you to bring. And I think that that's an echo out into your everyday experience. And so here is like a deep, bright light expressing that. And so coming here, being charged with that, and now the deep conviction about bringing that out into the other spaces that I inhabit beyond the LA amazingness that's here. So that's been my experience, kind of more like on a broad offering. And it's just this deep challenge to be this next best version of you. And when I witness these barriers that come up, how do I peel those back so that I can step more fully into my next best self as I play in the world? And that's really what it's about, is this play. How do we play more, harder, faster, and invigorate others to join us in that place? And that's my experience at the Manor.
Yeah.
And it's not over. And I'm just charged.
Yes. Thank you.
Yes. And thank you for the charge, because you are the charge in this group. Let me tell you.
Yes, brother.
This has been
The force.
Thank you.
Gibran up on the microphone. Thank you.
Gibran
Tennessee Jed.
from New York, Miami, and now living in Tennessee. Tennessee. Just grateful to be here with my brothers and Brandon for this vortex of love and support and such a wonderful energy to come to. It's along with my lines of transformation from being transgender and learning to live the man life now. It's how, synchronicity.
And you got landed with all
I
these
got landed
guys.
with a man group. So there's been, but I got to give a shout out to Petra, because she's been the feminine energy in our group and just the goddess of play.
Petra,
Petra's been keeping Miss Tickles.
Miss Tickles.
Yeah. The glue.
She's been gluing us together and keeping us in flow. And Ian has
Amazing.
just
food.
been cooking for us, and it comes from his soul, from his
Nourishing.
heart. He has just been the sauce in our life.
Yeah.
He's really just, just this whole area. The people that come in.
Every person
and
here is
every
incredible.
person that's come in has,
Geo.
from the EFT to I did the QHHT, past life regression with Mary Beth, and I did.
Well, I haven't heard how that was for you yet.
That was amazing. I went through several very dramatic life
Oh, wow.
times.
Wow.
And with Petra, I went through the NLP, so I was able to do that. It was very emotional, very cathartic.
Yeah.
Extremely cathartic. So, to be in the space where you can be vulnerable, where you can let your emotions come out and feel that you're being held and you're safe, and it's okay. It's okay to have emotion. It's okay. And that was extremely cathartic for me. We did the breaking the habit of being yourself, which is part of my transition.
Right, yeah, that definitely strikes a chord, right?
It strikes a chord. So it's all been very transitional for me. And I love Joe Dispenza's work. The fact that you combine science, emotion, and body, and able to work those for your greater good and for a better outlook for your life. I think it's wonderful, and thank you, Brandon, for creating this space, for being a vortex for people to heal and transcend. And you do it. You do it every day just by being you and creating this space. And thank you. I had only listened to the podcast for like a month, and I said, this just, especially in the mountains of Tennessee, you're reaching out to people that don't have this experience.
Right.
And being in the mountains, and that's why I want to bring some of this back home to community and to people that are stranded.
Right.
basically stranded, and they don't have this kind of connection, and they
Right.
don't have that, and you offer it in your podcast, really just grabs you, and you're like, oh my God, there are beautiful beings out there that I can resonate with,
Yeah.
and get it, and you give it.
Oh, well, it's, as I always say, it's the good kind of selfish. It is, such a labor of love to be able, and such an honor to be able to steward something like this, or to play that role. From the moment starting the podcast, it's like, getting that kind of feedback. It's like, oh, how can I not do this? How can I not continue to do this? Because I've done a lot of cool things, some big successes in business and yada yada, and nothing compares to being able to connect and play any role in helping others to step into more of what's happening here. Because that's really the way I view it for anyone that ends up coming here. It's like, okay, it's sort of like a graduation party of, okay, you've made it to a certain place in your own vibrational alignment that you're actually a match for this place, and it's, people, and then you step into it, and it's such a container and vortex of, magical energy that then it can't help but you take some of that with you. It's the aim, that's the vision, and then you're taking it back out into the world, which we need it to be everywhere, right? We want it to spread, and so it's sort of just a it's a Hogwarts of sort that is that is designed with that purpose. And so, the way I look at it is everyone who walks through that door, they're not here by mistake. They're at a point where they're such a close vibrational match that, they're going to get something really, really powerful out of this experience. And they're going to add to what this is, because it wouldn't be happening without you guys, Yeah. And you're just as important of a role to this place as this place is to your experience. So it's such a, synergistic co-creation that we're all participating in here. And so I just thank each and every one of you who, have come in the past, you guys that are here now. One of the trickiest, hardest things for us that are here permanently is seeing, you get so used to, the folks that are here, and then by the time it's time to go, it's like, oh, hold on, you mean, Marcos isn't going to be here, cracking ridiculous jokes? Hold on, no, that's not right. Or you just get used to the people, and that's one of the reasons I've been saying it this week some. I really am thinking about, and I've been talking about it with past groups, of having doing an optimistic Burning Man camp, and then it can be like a reunion kind of for everyone who's been here or anyone who's tied to this place.
Where do
can
I
they
sign?
come and just okay, we're all, I can't imagine all 111 plus people in one
That
place
energy.
on the playa.
So if you're thinking that's a good idea, definitely reach out, and Marcos and I will be working on trying to manifest
Yes.
the container to be able to pull that.
Did you just sign up as the one that's in charge of this?
I'm putting it
camp?
out there that's something that would be really just
You two honestly are the perfect humans
on
to
your screen.
I mean, yeah, exactly. I don't know about you guys, but I'm voting for Heinrich and Marcos to be in charge of the optimistic Burning Man camp.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
And Marcos, you've been a bunch of times too.
Yeah. I've been 9 times, but it's been 9 years since I've been.
Yeah. Well,
Since 2010.
time to come out of retirement, my friend. Heinrich just signed you up.
That's how I got here. You gotta talk, baby, my wife and kids. If you're listening, pack your bags. You're coming with us. Take you to the playa.
Oh man.
Yeah. What comes up for me is the connection. And so I love drawing in, visuals that we can think about, and those experiences that we've had in connections about the bad internet connections we might imagine, where things glitch out a bit and we miss out on some bit, an element of what's being shared, and or our sharing is missed. And we're wanting to make some modifications and some changes to improve the connection. And so think about all the other places that we have those connections, right? Empathy being a place where we sometimes get a little glitchy in our empathy connection. And so the Mystic Manor just has so many different offerings and tools and practices that you get to tease into and refine and then improve those different types of connections to get past some of those glitchy elements as they arrive, because they come and they go. And it's imperative that we repair them.
Yeah. Heinrich always has so much like wisdom to share. Like, have you launched your podcast yet?
I think you need to do that.
Yeah.
Tater cast.
That reflection.
Be the tater cast.
Tater cast. Coming at you live. We got tater logs 5 days a week.
Tater log, star date.
For me too, it's not just daily yoga. It's a different type and style of yoga with a different person each day, and each one of those people was amazing.
Yeah.
And doing different things, and like every night there's something different planned. Like, you're really utilizing the space to bring in conscious visionary artists, like meeting Vajra. Was like, whoa, like his art is just beyond any kind of comprehension.
Where was the last place you've been, any of you, that had art delivered?
Art delivered while you're hanging out.
And then behind him comes some dude with a guitar, and then after that
Is a magician.
Like,
Well, what about
The magician! Oh my God!
I was gonna say 1:30 in the morning on Tuesday, whatever it is. Here comes this magician through the door. He looked like an Amish character with that
He had a
flat
white,
bill hat.
yeah, white,
coolest.
And he's
white
like
brim hat.
he's flipping card magic
Right in front of you.
the face
Chad.
at 1:30 in
Oh,
the
that's
morning.
Chad.
Yeah.
Here's a sample of what Chad says as he walks in to do magic that blows your mind. He sent me an audio text. I'm gonna see if it'll translate.
You're in a dream. What are you dreaming? Wonderful. Thank you.
You're in a dream. What are you dreaming? So 1:30,
Yeah,
this guy
1:30
rolls
in the
in.
morning.
He looks at me and says, "Think of a card, any card." And I think of my Destiny card, King of Hearts. And then he looks over, "Who knows who you're here best?" And my longtime friend John is here, and I say him, and he goes, "Okay, John, tell me when to drop the." He's just dropping the deck of the cards.
Tell
Did
me
you
when
guys
to
see
stop.
this?
Oh, yeah.
He's just dropping them from onto the ground from his hand, just slowly, one at a time, kind of thing. And he goes, John tells him to stop, and he holds up the cards. He goes, "Is this the one?" And it's the King of Hearts.
King
and I'm
of
like,
Hearts, yeah.
"What just happened?"
Do you want to know something insane? He did the same thing for me, and I was like, I picked the 9 of diamonds. He's like, "I'm sorry, bro, I didn't bring that one. You can check the deck." And I'm like, 50, 51. I'm like,
52.
I could not find the 9 of
What?
diamonds.
And his card was gone.
What?
Yeah. Yeah, I was like,
Yeah, I mean,
insane.
so by the end of the night, a couple hours later, we had decided, he was like, he got me super excited about Future Television Studios. That's the production company, that little fledgling production company that I launched to produce Optimistic. He got me really excited that within a few years down the road, we do a Magic on the Moon show episode.
All right.
So I'm like, yeah. You're in a dream. What are you dreaming? Would you look at that? Would you look at that? I will definitely. I'm dreaming a Magic on the Moon episode. That's a beautiful vision of his. So I think he's going to become a staple around here. We're going to start doing like magic dinner parties.
Oh, man.
And like,
That's mystical.
no,
That's
but P-Head family, hold yourselves, like, grab your chair, because, like, this was at 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Okay, it was already a really full day.
it was very full.
Yeah.
Mystical madness, awesome.
Yeah.
This
Winding
guy rolls in to do
down and
magic.
And then he grabbed a goddess, a whole cards deck that wasn't his own.
Yeah.
He
Oh,
grabbed
yeah.
a
Because you think he
goddess
maybe
deck
has a
of-
trick deck in some way.
Yeah.
He's like, and there's an
Big
oracle
ass
deck.
cards, yeah. That are big ass cards like that, and he's doing the same stuff with
Yep.
with the card. It's just
He's incredible. He's absolutely incredible. I'm hoping he comes tomorrow night to the live taping.
pull a rabbit out of the hat.
Yeah. Does anyone, as we kind of wind down here, have anything they feel compelled, just in general, to offer to the, however many thousands, 20,000 in the short term, and for the next 1,000 years, who knows? Maybe it's millions of people that hear this podcast. So, anything that bubbles up for you, Heinrich? I know you got something.
Yeah, the thing that's coming up for me,
The growing old thing. I want to add to a big.
what is it to grow old? And that is such an embedded thought pattern within us.
The man who's had his 50th birthday party here, who seems like he's going on 25 in the most
Everything
healthy
is
way.
centered on the breath, and that is such an easy thing to say. And I guess the offering I have into that is to remember that your breath is a mirroring image of the seasons. And when you arrived on the planet, you were new and fresh, and you took a giant inhale as your first experience, and information came in, and it began to push into summer and this fullness of expansion in your breathing, and it tipped over the other side, and fall started to show, and the leaves fell. And you started to drop into winter in this mysticism place, and this stillness that arrives, and then you get to do it again. And so it's a incumbent upon you to do that breathing every day and do your best to notice it and how it affects you. And you don't get to cut through from spring, down to summer. You have to go around, and that's the practice of being a full and complete human being.
Yeah. Yeah. What I loved you walking in on your 50th birthday, it's like, it was something to the effect of "You've been sold on growing old," and the other night we were like, "Oh, I like that." And it's like I always say, aging is not optional; growing old is. And for me, you guys being a few years older than myself, it's such an inspiration. Like there's so much like childlike energy. It's like I think of what it was to be my dad at what his 50th birthday was like versus yours, Heinrich. Yeah. And it's like, could it be more different? I mean, you're like, there's so much youthful energy and so much play. And that's the thing for anyone out there listening. We get to be that, the ones who set the tone for future generations, on the cutting edge of, here's what it means to age without growing old, and let me be on the front lines of that and show you what that's like. And so that's one of the things I appreciated so much about your energy here. It's like it's such an example of what I want to be when I'm 50, and I can only imagine by 60 you probably seem younger. I mean, literally, we could 50 years from now look and feel younger than we do now. Yeah, are you?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Wow,
Yeah.
like the youthfulness of this group is just. How old are you?
48.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah.
My dad called me on my
53.
birthday.
I'm the youngest one here. You're 53?
53.
What?
Oh my God.
Holy smokes! Like my mind is blown right now.
It's the taters, dude.
It's the taters.
What is it? Bison.
Yeah.
No. There's the joggers.
Chuckers, yeah.
The chockers. You got to figure out.
The chuckers.
The chuckers.
Idaho chuckers. That's a bird, if you know.
My
what
dad
it is.
called me on my birthday, and he said happy birthday, obviously, and then followed up and said, I remember when I turned 50 in 1992.
Wow.
And since then, the time has sped up even faster from what it was to go from him getting to 50 in his mind.
Yeah.
He was just blown by that. And
wow.
You could just hear it in his voice. And I just can't believe you're 50.
Yeah.
That's what he said to me.
Right.
So.
Wow. Yeah, it is, when you start to understand that you're an eternal being floating in eternity, and this is just like, you if you choose to never really get old, it's like, okay, so you mean I'm going to just play and have joyous childlike celebration my entire existence? I'm going to pass from physical, and then it's like, oh, on to more play. Like, it's like you don't have to ever stop. You don't have to ever be that crotchety person. It's one of the reasons we want yoga to be like a regular sort of offering here, just because we've all seen the 101-year-old yogi. You can put his leg behind his head and like his limber, and you're only as young as your spine is flexible. I've heard before, and so it's like taking up a practice like that, even just if you did it a couple times a week it's like yoga practice, not yoga perfect. I think there's probably people out there who hear and like, oh, I couldn't do it, or I never have. It's just even setting the intention to do something, just trying energetically the statement you're making to the universe and to yourself, and how your genes are going to express differently based off of that. Just that I'm just going to try. I'm going to get over here on the floor and maybe find a video on YouTube, even alone. I don't even have to go to my studio or be a professional. And I think that's just like such a powerful, simple practice that anyone can do. And there's really no excuse not to find, and start making small changes to ensure that your body can match your childlike wonderment in your mind. You know what I mean? And so,
absolutely. Yeah, I can speak to that too, because I feel like coming here this week and just seeing all the cool people involved and the other guests that are here this week with me, but especially the people who are here full time and making the experience happen. And the phrase curated experiences or curated immersive experiences come up a couple times, and it's like it takes a lot of work, and I see the work that you guys put into it. And so big props to the entire crew. Maybe it was your vision to start with, but obviously you could not have done this alone. It's
takes a village.
Definitely.
So definitely, huge props to everybody. And just the idea that if you're a podcast listener, you may be wondering, how can I bring this type of a lifestyle into my current existence? And what you guys are showing is just how easy it is for everybody to just do that. You guys are modeling the behavior that I want for my life.
Yeah.
And to be able to come here and, I'm immersed in this, and, you've set up for literally every hour and a half there's something new going on and some new people coming in and everything that may not happen back when I go home. But I can definitely take home yoga. I can take home tapping. I can take home, the connections that I've made.
The Dr. Joe stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Breaking the
And
habit.
like it's more than just like coming here for a week and hanging out in Venice. I mean, and actually that kind of blew me away right off the bat. I'm like, wow, this is actually Brandon's house.
Yeah,
Like,
I remember you saying that.
yeah, and like meeting your son was really awesome for me too.
Yeah.
'Cause I have
that's right.
two
Kids here.
stepsons his age.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking of how come I think the EFT can help my daughter. So I'm like, it's definitely made a huge impact on me.
So it's pretty good.
It's all right.
It's pretty good.
It's pretty good. Well, this has been pretty good, y'all. I definitely appreciate you guys all co-creating this experience. And, for any of you out there who are thinking about coming, but on the fence about coming, do it. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Obviously, I want to see whoever's meant to be here be here.
Yep.
And, we've done everything we can to try and keep it as like reasonably priced as possible. I got gifted a trip to India last week, which I'll talk about on next week's podcast that I do alone on Monday. And it was amazing, and it was gifted to me, so it didn't cost me anything, but it was $15,000. And people had transformational experiences. It was really powerful, but it really made me feel good about what we're doing here, and the cost difference is a tiny fraction of that.
It is a fraction.
And it's like, that's really what I've set the intention to do, is how can we do it as inexpensively as possible for people to... I hate the idea of money being a barrier for any of this.
Yeah,
and
you can even stay in Venice for a week in a super nice place like this with no activities whatsoever.
Or chef for the
Find,
meal,
yeah,
or
yeah,
magic,
vegan
or
chef,
or
magician that
or
shows at
magician
1:30.
showing up at 1:30 in the morning.
So think of it like that. You want a trip to California? Just stay here and you get yoga and EFT and tapping and all of the stuff
this
for free.
is a pilgrimage.
Yeah.
It's not a
good.
place where like you're expecting to have the brochure-ish and everything.
No,
it's like
it's-
you're integrated.
Yeah, you're a part of this
part
weird
of the-
magical spot
Yeah.
for the week. You are as key to any other person that comes through, right?
Yeah.
So if you guys are interested, we still do have some spots left beginning. I think the earliest availability as of this recording is there's some in December, and then onward, we have at least slated out through next July. So July 2020, and you can schedule to chat with me about what particular dates and all of that, work out like the logistics. You can go to calendly.com/talk with Brandon, and Calendly is CALENDLY.com/talk with Brandon, and schedule something. And otherwise, the other thing that for those who just not in the cards to come here, we also have, and I haven't talked about this that much, we have a Patreon page. And if you go to patreon.com/optimistic show, you'll see different offerings where like right now we're live streaming this. So there's people, hey guys, well, there's people who are Patreon members who are actually seeing this live and video while it happens. And we just will show behind the scenes Mystic Manor's footage. There's a bunch of different options. A webinar I do each month with people. So check that out as well if you're interested in supporting this all the shenanigans here, and to get the optimistic show out into the world is really the biggest aim of all of this. I mean, it's all important, but that was sort of the initial spark, was like, let's put the show together, include the guest into the show, and that'll be coming out soon, very soon. We've been taping and we haven't released anything other than the trailer yet, but
Which was fantastic.
you can check that out at optimistic.tv if you haven't seen the trailer for the new show. And I can't wait to have you guys on the show. It's going to be a good one, man. It's going to be a fun one. So that's tomorrow's recording. So this is just a warm up. All right. Anyone have anything to add before we we bounce out to the beach and get into some more.
Shameless plug.
Yeah.
One more time.
Do it. Do it.
Yeah, again, by the time you're hearing this, my music should be available. Uplifting, energetic trance music tuned to solfeggio frequencies. Like, there's nothing like that out there. So
Cool.
I really appreciate it if you guys listen and share. And
What's your website again?
DJSolfeggio.com. Just like solfeggio, but SOUL, soul. I put the U in soul, solfeggio.
Yeah, I put the U in soul.
You in universe.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, man, thank you again. This has been a transformative week, and props to you for just having the vision and the belief. Like, I always go back to that image that you gave us of, Indiana Jones stepping onto the and the bridge appears, and you just had to trust that this would work, and that's been mentioned a few times. Like, it was a giant leap of faith to make this all happen. And
Definitely was.
I'm super glad to hear that you're booked out through December. I guarantee you those spots are going to fill fast.
Yeah. All right. Anyone else have anything magical?
Deep gratitude, man. Deep gratitude.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Love you guys all so much out there. Till next time, journey well.
Love you.
Love.
Peace out.
And if you're feeling the call to come for a week retreat style Mystic Manor immersion, remember to go now and book your time to speak with me directly about stepping into the optimistic vortex at calendly.com/talk with Brandon while there are still spots left. Otherwise, I look forward to co-creating magic with you at the Mystic Manor.